Well, Arsenal imploded yesterday at the Emirates Stadium. Guys, Arsenal are really downing tools at a time where you shouldn't be downing tools. But they are at an advantage that they are 9 points clear ahead of Man City, and now City has 2 games in hand. Smash like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fun. And I want to let you know that yesterday I really had lots of engagements, and there is no way I could obviously come up to obviously take part into watching that beautiful game of football that saw Arsenal really get beaten. I never really watched that game. That is it. I only saw the highlights, but I don't think that the highlights are really enough to obviously make me really do a long minute video. But I'm really gonna be speaking broadly about the game in as far as the results were really concerned. Now, Arsenal went ahead to name a starting 11 of the following players, because I want to really build a picture, because I never did what we call the match day live, and I want to let you know that it has to obviously start from where we usually start from. So Arsenal came up with a system of 4-2-3-1. They had David Raya in goal, Ben White right back, Lewis Kelly left back, Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes played in the central defense. Martin Zubimendi and Declan Rice went ahead to play in the double pivot. Noni Madueke, right attacking midfielder. Martinelli, left attacking midfielder. Kai Havertz played as a central attacking midfielder. And Victor Gyökeres went ahead to lead the line. And this is exactly what I came up in the probable starting 11 for the club of Arsenal. And on the bench, they had Mosquera, Gabriel Jesus, Ebelechi Eze, Leandro Trossard, Max Doyman, Pierre Hincapie, Kepa Arrizabalaga, Christian Nogard, and Mal Solomon in there for you. So that is the starting 11 of Arsenal that Arteta went ahead to obviously name. And that means Odegaard was out, Ricardo Carafiori was out, Ebelechi Eze was out, though the manager had told us that he's really back into the mix. Bukayo Saka was nowhere to be seen, and Mikel Merino plus Julian Timber. Big injuries for the club of Arsenal, and they really went ahead to face a very, very, very big loss at the Emirates in there for you. Now, it was in the 17th minute, a cross was brought in, or the ball was squared, and it went onto the leg of Saliba. And guess what happened? No defender would obviously find it, apart from the striker known as Junior Kriope of the side of Bournemouth, that came up and obviously put out a very huge finish in the 17th minute. 18 minutes later, there was a handball, penalty rewarded to the club of Arsenal. Victor Gyökeres went ahead to obviously bury that penalty into the back of the net. And we are told that Victor Gyökeres has scored 18 goals in all competitions this season, of players to debut for Arsenal in the Premier League era from 1992 to 1993 season. Only Thierry Henry in 1999 to 2000 scored 26 goals, and Sanchez went ahead to score 25 goals in his debut season of 2014-2015, scored more in their debut campaign with the club. So it's only 2 that have gone ahead to score more goals than this man when it comes to his debut, right? He has gone ahead to put out a very huge performance, and I'm like, Lego. That is Victor Gyökeres that has gone ahead to obviously put out a very big push into the mix. So that is it for Victor Gyökeres in there for you. He scored that only goal in the Premier League. He now has 12 goals in there, and in the Champions League he has 4, and he has scored in the Carabao Cup 1, and I think he has also scored in the FA Cup. That is Victor Gyökeres for you. So 18 goals this season, only 2 left for him to really make 20 goals this season. And you know the weight of the goals that are being scored in these leagues: Premier League, Spanish La Liga, and the Italian Serie A. I think those goals really weigh in more than those that he has gone ahead to score in the League of Portugal. That means even when he was in Portugal, he's a good goal scorer, because clocking just 20, will obviously give him some good comfort in his heart. And I know the lad is working to obviously see to it that he scores more goals to get Arsenal into that side. After leveling up, they went to half time when it was 1-1. Then in the 74th minute, Alex Scott went ahead to obviously capitalize onto that poor game reading of William Saliba and went ahead to bury that ball in the back of the net. Guys, Saliba yesterday wasn't at the levels where he has always gone ahead to be, and I think everyone saw to it that Saliba is not the man that they've gone ahead to usually have into their team. But it's really very bad to implode at such a time, because it speaks volumes to everyone who really thinks that the trophy is done. Arsenal's result yesterday just went ahead to obviously put out a very huge hinge into their title race, because if they really won that game yesterday, it would have gone ahead to pile more pressure on the side of Man City. Now, Arsenal had 12 shots, Bournemouth had 8. Both had 3 shots on target. 52% ball possession by Arsenal. Bournemouth had 48%. 379 passes completed by Arsenal. 45 passes completed by Bournemouth. 82% passing accuracy by Arsenal and 83% passing accuracy by Bournemouth. 12 fouls by Arsenal, 18 fouls by Bournemouth. 1 yellow card to Arsenal, 3 yellow cards to Bournemouth. 0 red cards to Arsenal, 2 offsides to Arsenal, and 0 to Bournemouth. 10 corners to the side of Arsenal and 1 corner to the side of Bournemouth. That is it. And that's how things are really panning out for the club of Arsenal in there for you. So that's how the results were. Now, Arsenal have found themselves in a position of really piling more and more pressure onto themselves, because if they've been playing like that when they're 9 points clear, how are they obviously going to be playing when they're really maybe 6 or 3 points clear? Because if Man City, it's like if close, if Man City win their remaining, their 2 games in hand, City will be at 67 points, and Arsenal will be at 70. And though this game comes in through earlier, before City plays those 2 games in hand, but they're playing themselves come next weekend. So Arsenal will obviously find themselves in a position of really surrendering to City. If City has 2 games in hand and they win them, that means they would have gone ahead to score more goals than the club of Arsenal, and Arsenal might lose the trophy on goal difference. So we wait to see how things really pan out, meaning that Arsenal have to put out a very huge statement when they play against Man City come next weekend. So Arsenal is having 70 points in 32 games, Man City 30. Man City is having 61 points in 30. Man United, 31 games. They're having 55 points. They're playing on Monday. Aston Villa, 32 games. They're having 55 points in there for you. That means if Man United wins tomorrow, they'll go 3 points ahead of a team known as Aston Villa, and if United win on Monday, they'll be 7 points ahead of a team. Will it be 7? There will be 6 points ahead of Liverpool. Remember, it's confirmed. The English Premier League is taking 5 teams to the UEFA Champions League. Now, as it stands, Arsenal will be eagerly watching the game of Man City today, and even if Man City drops points, it will remain down in history that Arsenal bottled the game yesterday. Total bottling of the game. I know the players are really devastated, but Arteta really has a very big role to play to obviously raise up. In the recent 4 games played, Arsenal has only won 1, and they've gone ahead to lose 3. That is really uncalled for. Those are too many losses for the club of Arsenal, something that they should obviously reduce on, because if you're to win a trophy, these are moments where you need to obviously find yourself in a position of really coming up and really capitalizing onto your opponent's weakness. Rokani David is my name. We are heading to the game of Man City and Chelsea, and I'll bring you the match reaction when that game of football is done and dusted. Good evening. I'm back from the weekend, that from yesterday, that a day marked a lot of me being a busybody.